Well, hi folks, the pickle harvesting operation continues. I picked again since the last video, and we've got another 16 pounds of pickling cucumbers to deal with. This bowl full is 8 pounds of what are going to be dill spears. So we're in the process. They've been washed and they're ready to go. And of course, anybody who cans knows you have to have the canning Bible, the ball blue canning book with all the recipes in it. So that's what we're working on. And over here we see, aside from dogs, we see there are 2 containers with another batch of gherkins that have been started. Now yes, they're bigger than most gherkins would be, but we're using the gherkin recipe, and that's okay. The size of the pickle doesn't matter as far as we're concerned, it's the taste. So the smaller cucumbers that we've picked will become gherkins, and the larger ones will be dills. And we'll have 2, this is another between these 2 jars, or between these 2 containers here, we'll have another 8 pounds of gherkins. This is a several day process. You have to bathe them in different things over a few days before you can can them. The dills, however, they will be canned today. They just have to be processed in this pot here. It's got some apple cider vinegar, it's got some water, and it's going to have a few other spices, as you can see here, being prepared, and some canning salt. So we'll come back to you with the next phase of the operation. Well, hi folks, I realize I'm skipping a couple steps here in the processing, but the brine you saw in the pot got poured over the pickle spears when they were put into the jars, and then the jars were sealed with lids and rings and put into this hot water canning bath where they're now boiling. I have about 4 minutes left on them according to the timer. As you can see, they're well, that didn't work too well. Now I got a fogged up lens. Let's see if I can unfog it here. There we go. Sorry about that. So this is a hot water bath canning process. There is another kind called a pressure canning operation. It also has a large container like this, but it's sealed and it's under pressure, and certain vegetables you have to do that or it doesn't kill the bacteria, but pickles like this, because of the vinegar content, the hot water canning bath works. We do the same thing with tomato juice or tomato sauce, so this is the more common, easier way to do it. When this finishes up, we'll pull them out and set them over here to dry, and then over time you'll hear the lids seal. There's a ping or a click depending what kind of lids you have, and then we let them sit overnight, and then they're finished, they're ready to be put away. With most pickle recipes, my understanding is in order for them to fully flavor, you've got to let them sit for like 6 weeks. It's not that you couldn't eat them before, but they won't be fully flavored. They won't taste as good as they will eventually. So we'll put these in the pantry, and then they'll sit there, and sometime in the fall we'll start to break them out and eat them. So I'll come back and we'll show you what we do to take them out and see what they look like. All right. Okay, the allotted time is up. 15 minutes for this particular recipe. As you can see, the jar's in the canner, and I got this nifty little jar lifter that is one of the basic canning necessities. So that allows you to just reach down in, pick up your jar, and what I'll do is I'll just dab it here to get the worst of the moisture off, and then we will set it here to cool down. Now, as I said, we did skip a couple parts here with the processing. Basically what you didn't see was my wife brought the pickle brine to a certain heat. I don't remember if she has to boil it or not. I don't think so. She added the spice bag to it to flavor it. Then she took the cucumbers, sliced them up, stuffed them into the canning jars. Usually warm the canning jars in a water bath just so that they don't go cold into the processing. Same thing with the lids and the jar rings, just to warm them a bit. And then you pour the brine over the sliced pickles, filling it up almost to the top. It'll tell you how to do that in the instructions. Put the jars, or put the lids and rings on, and then you just stick it right into the into the canner. You bring the canner to a boil and then you start your timer. And that's all there really is to it. You just have to make sure that your canning jars are good, that they're not cracked in any way. You got to make sure that your lids and rings are on good and tight. You can see some of the spices in there. And then you have homemade pickles. Now again, I just wanted to remind you the source for home canning, if you're serious about wanting to do it. This is a must-have book, the Ball Blue Book of Preserving. This has everything you need to know about supplies, process, recipes, canning, freezing, fruits, vegetables, even meat, I believe. So if you're interested, go buy one of these. The tape on the left-hand side with the dog prints and dog bones that my wife put on because she's beaten up this book so much over the years from using it. But this is what you need. This will tell you everything you need to know how to do it successfully and safely, what equipment to buy, etc. Shortcuts, tips. So just if you're interested in doing that, you've never done it before, that's what I'd recommend. And as you can see, we're on the way to having a second batch of dill pickles. I'm going to get the rest of these out of the canning bath now and put them here, and then we're done for the day. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel.